is the Week 4 preview. We have Seattle at St. Louis, Baltimore at Pittsburgh, San Francisco at Atlanta, Washington at Philly, Chicago at New York, and the Patriots at Miami.
Hey, this is Week 4 of Offsides. I'm Tom Hughes.
I'm Kevin Shaughnessy.
And this week our 6 big games. First we got up St. Louis hosting this division-leading Seattle Seahawks. Kevin, Seattle's coming off an upset win against the Chargers, which you predicted last week. St. Louis coming off a huge upset against the Washington Redskins. Who do you like in this matchup?
I'm going to take Rams. I like their coach Spagnuolo. He does a great job with that defense. There's not many big names on it. And I really like Bradford, especially against Matt Hasselbeck. I don't think the Seahawks have as much weapons as the Rams do. They have an elite back in Steven Jackson. Expect him to have a big game this week. But I still see it being kind of a close game, like 7-3 points around there.
This is going to be an upset. I'm taking St. Louis also, even though we both picked St. Louis. The reason I'm taking St. Louis is because they're the home team. Seattle's first 2 home games, they blew out San Francisco and they looked good against San Diego. They played on the road at Denver, and they just did not look good at all. They got to play a road game. Sam Bradford has looked great so far throughout his first 3 games. Steven Jackson going to control the clock. Rams defense played pretty good against Washington. They let Santana Moss beat them a lot. But other than that, they looked pretty good. So I'm going to take St. Louis also to actually have the division lead by week's end. Next, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is definitely the premier matchup of this week. Kevin, who do you got in this one? For the Steelers, without Ben Roethlisberger, his last game suspension.
Taking Pitts. Pittsburgh Steelers are really good, even without them. They have the most turnovers in the league. That defense is amazing with Palomalo on the field. No defense can compare to it. Not even the Jets.
I think it's fair to say that Pittsburgh has the best defense in the NFL right now.
You look at the Ravens, when they played great defenses like the Jets, they only put up 10 points. What do you think they're going to do on the Ravens? I mean, on the Steelers. What did they do 2 weeks ago? He threw, 4 picks, and now it's on the Bengals, was it? The Bengals don't have nowhere near a good defense as Pittsburgh does. Batch threw 3 touchdowns last week. It was 3 touchdowns. I see the Steelers taking this one, especially with Mendenhall.
It's going to be a defensive game, but I'm going to go with Baltimore in this game for the matter of fact that both these teams have great defenses. Pittsburgh has the best in the league, in my opinion, right now. Baltimore should be around top 5 in the league. But the X factor, I got to go with Joe Flacco versus Charlie Batch. And the weapons that they have around them. Anquan Bolden had a 3-touchdown game last week. He's looked great so far. Houshmandzadeh, Mason, Ray Rice running the ball. They got a lot more weapons. They got the most weapons that Pittsburgh has seen so far. And I think it's going to catch up to them, where they're going to miss Big Ben this game, and Baltimore's going to take it. Then we got San Francisco at the ATL. Kevin, who you got? Atlanta coming off an upset win.
I'm picking the Dirty Bird once again, Michael Turner. I know San Francisco's defense is pretty good with Singletary being the coach, but the Falcons just have too many weapons, and Alex Smith, I've said this since he's been drafted, he's a bust, and he cannot win a game.
I don't know what's happened to San Francisco. I was expecting them to win this division with 9 wins or something. And they've just looked terrible so far. They're already firing their offensive coordinator. Crabtree's been non-existent. Vernon Davis hasn't had as good as a year. Their only offense is Frank Gore right now.
And Westbrook hasn't even had a catch.
I don't like them playing. I think that they could maybe beat ATL if they played them in San Francisco. They played New Orleans tough in San Francisco. But at Atlanta in the Georgia Dome, it's going to be too tough. Atlanta's going to take this game. Then we got the Donovan McNabb at the Philadelphia Eagles, the return game versus Michael Vick. Who do you got in this one?
Definitely take it, Philly. If you've been watching all the weeks that we've done, I love McNabb, and I'm not a big fan of Vic. I know Vic's been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but McNabb is going to prove to the Eagles he should have never traded me. He's going to come back.
Washington.
Yeah, he's going to come back and smack them in the face. There's no way that Donovan McNabb will lose his game. I'm expecting about 2 touchdowns from him, no picks. And that defense at 3-4 from the Redskins is going to catch up with Vic.
I'm going to go with Washington also. I think Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator of Washington, is going to get a good scheme. Arakpo's going to have a big game against a weak offensive line in the Philadelphia Eagles. The Redskins defense is playing pretty good. I don't think that Vic's going to be able to tear them apart, especially a 3-4 scheme, which mixes a lot of coverages and everything. Definitely. I like Washington in this. Then we got the Chicago Bears, Sunday Night Football at the New York Giants. Here's why I'm going to take the New York Giants, because right now I believe that the Bears are one of the most overrated teams in the league. I know they got lucky against Green Bay last week. Green Bay had 18 penalties, a bunch of pass interferences, but here's why I'm going to go with them, because the Bears have a terrible offensive line. You can't disagree with that. They have no running game at all right now. They're a completely one-dimensional team, and Cutler could have threw that game away against Green Bay. He threw 2 picks on the last drive, but Green Bay, since they're one of the most penalized teams in the league, that's what they didn't get them. So I don't know how the Bears, and their defense is not good in my opinion either.
Their defense is actually really good.
Their defense isn't actually good.
Their front seven's amazing. Peppers,
their front seven isn't. Tommy Harris, he isn't anything right now. He was deactivated last week by coach's decision.
Still.
Their secondary is weak.
You said the same thing with the offensive line last
Peppers has been a monster. Peppers is a guy, he plays when he wants to play. He played against a terrible Green Bay offensive line and a terrible Detroit offensive line.
Look, Clay Matthews has the most sacks in the NFL, and how many sacks did he have on Cutler?
Cutler was still sacked about 4 times.
Still, but my point is that Mike Martz is a smart man, and the Giants have not looked good at all.
Mike Martz, listen, Justin Tuck, O.C. Umanura, and Jason Pierre-Paul is going to get after. They're going to get after a team that Mike Martz does 7-step drops. He does. Umanura still plays right now. So Martz is going to take a bunch of 7-step drops.
He knows how to switch it. I know that's what he does, but he knows how to switch it.
And we also forgot Eli Manning, other than the turnovers, had a good year. I think that they're going to be able to throw the ball on this weak Chicago secondary.
That's what everyone says.
Chicago's weak. The game's at New York in the New Meadowlands. It's a day that they're retiring all the players' numbers, LT, Sims. I like the Giants in this game. I think that the Bears are one of the most overrated teams in the NFL. They'll finish 3rd in the NFC North.
They're going to go 2nd. But the way Brett Favre's playing, the Giants, they're dead. They might have a lot
They won't make the playoff, but
they might have
the Giants will beat Chicago, especially in the Giants stadium.
Their linebackers look weak. Their corners are picky. Besides Webster, their secondary
Hakeem Nicks, big game. Steve Smith also.
Tillman shut him down.
All right, then we're going to go with the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. Miami lost in the Sunday night game last week. New England blew out Buffalo. I'm taking New England in this game. I think Moss has a big game on whoever's covering him. Wes Welker eats his former team alive. Patriots 27-17.
You picked the Pats to blow out the Bills last week, and that wasn't such a good call.
Hey, they won.
Fins are going to win. Patriots don't have the defense to keep up with Ronnie Brown and the Wildcats, especially Brandon Marshall. You saw what Marshall did to Cromartie. Cromartie is a better corner than any of the Patriots corners.
Cromartie's a better corner. Listen, I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the game because I was in Minnesota. But I believe that Brandon Marshall, who you said would have a bad game last week, tore Cromartie up.
That's what I'm saying. Cromartie's better but Cromartie's better than any of the corners on the Patriots. Yeah,
he's a playmaking corner. He's a playmaking corner. They're young, but they're second. They haven't played that bad. They did good against Cincinnati.
Monte, Sean Smith, Jason Allen, they're decent enough to hold the Patriots.
All right, then we're going to go with the no huddle segment right now. Week 4, we got Carolina at New Orleans.
New Orleans, easy win.
New Orleans at home, easy win over Carolina. The only chance Carolina has is to control the clock. I don't think they're going to be able to do it that well. Detroit at Green Bay. Green Bay. Easy win over Detroit. Detroit hasn't beat them in Lambeau since 1991. Jets at Buffalo.
The Jets, even though they had 2 bad games last year against Buffalo, they're going to take them harshly.
Jets not shut them out, but under 10 points for Buffalo, in my opinion, even without Revis and Calvin Pace playing, most likely. Then Denver at Tennessee.
Denver, I'm going to take.
Why would you take Denver? I got Tennessee.
400 yards last week.
CJ 2K with a big game against Denver. Games in Tennessee. Denver's not good at all.
Jamal Williams is going to crap on that O-line.
The Titans have one of the best O-lines in the league.
And Denver's got one of the best front sevens in the league.
Not without Doomerville.
They have Robert Ayers.
Then we got Indianapolis at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's secondary has been awful so far. Peyton Manning eats them alive. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm going to take Indy as well. Peyton Manning's a beast.
Houston at Oakland. Andre Johnson playing less than 100%. I was considering using this as a sleeper pick. I was tempted to take Oakland. I'm going to go with the Houston Texans in a really close game.
I would take Oakland if they actually started Campbell, but they're starting Gradkowski, who's proved nothing in the NFL. So
he's proved that he can be okay. He had some nice games, especially against Pittsburgh last year. He's not. Arizona at San Diego. San Diego's the home team. I'm not a fan of anything that Arizona's doing right now. Preston's hurt. Fitzgerald's hurt. Derek Anderson, not a great quarterback. San Diego, easy win.
If the receivers were healthy, I would have taken Arizona, but San Diego's going to have to win.
And that's our Week 4 preview. Now we're going to go talk to the Asian kid, Jeremy.
Go! Hello. I am the Asian kid. I'm going to give you my top 3 fantasy performers of the week. At quarterback, we have Mike Vick versus the Washington Redskins. At running back, we have Arian Foster versus the Oakland Raiders. And at wide receiver, we got Austin High versus the Jaguars. And my sleeper pick is Darren McFadden at the Houston Texans. Now I have to go eat some rice. Goodbye.
All right, thanks for watching Offsides. Once again, I'm Tom Hughes. Thanks for watching.